Welcome. You have entered champion mentality where you be great in your preparation, become excellent in your performance. We're going to go back. We're going to retro here. We're going to talk about NCAA Division One men's basketball. Purdue versus UConn. The battle of the towers, the battle of the post. There, we're going to talk about that. Then also we'll talk about. Um, Men's basketball transfer portal, what movement is going on currently up to date. So right now, let's talk about the national championship. We're going to talk about stat facts. In field goal percentage, Purdue scored a total of 60 points. UConn scored a total of 75. And let's see what brought about that separation. So let's talk about it here. And it is, I think, easily put here. In field goal percentage, Purdue was 24 for 54. They were 44.4%. In field goal percentage overall, UConn was 30 for 62. That brought them to 48.4%, so they're a little bit better. In three-pointers overall, Purdue was 1 for 7 at 14.3%. Three-pointers, UConn was 6 for 22 at 27%. Either teams weren't great. UConn had a little better push there. Free throws, Purdue was a little bit better. Was not better. 11 for 15. We brought them to 73%. And UConn was 9 for 11, 81%. So that edged them here. Let's talk about rebounds. Total rebounds. UConn out-rebounded Purdue 35 rebounds to Purdue's 28. So the offensive rebounds, UConn had 14 and Purdue had 9. Going to defensive rebounds, UConn had 21 and Purdue had 19. Go to assists, UConn had 18 and Purdue had 8. Going to steals, they were tied in steals, 3 for 3. Going to blocks, UConn had 4 blocks and Purdue had 3. Let's go into turnovers. Turnovers, which is pretty good, low for season. You want to keep it at 10 or under 10. So UConn had 8 and Purdue Boilermakers had 9. Total fouls, you want to keep it under 20 for personal fouls, and UConn for the whole game. UConn had 18 personal fouls and Purdue had 15. So let's talk about stats. Castle, the freshman guard. Castle, the freshman guard, played 33 minutes, had 15 points. He went 6 from 13 from the field goal. I had 1 for 4 from three-pointer. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 personal foul. He went 2 for 4 from the free throw line. He had 2 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds, 1 steal, no blocks. Number 32, Klingen, the center, the 7-footer, played 31 minutes, 11 points, 5 for 8 from the field goal, 0 for 1 from three-point line, had 1 assist, 4 personal fouls, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, 1 offensive rebound, 4 defensive rebounds, and 1 block. Caravan played 36 minutes, had 5 points, went 2 for 7 from the field goal line, 1 for 6 from three-point line. He had 6 rebounds. He had 4 assists. That was huge. He did not make it to the charity stripe at all. 0 for 0. Had 3 offensive rebounds and 3 defensive rebounds. Newton, the guard, played 39 minutes. He had 20 points. Difference maker right there for UConn. 6 for 13 from the field goal. 2 for 5 from three-point line. 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 personal fouls, 6 from the free throw line. He was getting downhill quite often, attacking the basket. 3 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds, no steals, no blocks. Spencer, a guard, number 12, played 34 minutes. 11 points, 5 from 12 from the field goal. 1 for 4 from the three-point line. He had 8 rebounds, 8 ribbies, 2 assists, 3 personal fouls. Did not get to the charity stripe, 0 for 0, 2 rebounds, offensive rebounds, and 6 defensive. He was on the boards, defensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. Coming off the bench, Diara, Diaara. He was a guard. He had played 13 minutes, had 9 points, 4 from 6 from field goal, 1 from 2 from the 3-point line, 2 rebounds, no assists, 3 personal fouls, 1 offensive rebound, 1 defensive rebound. You had Johnson, that was a forward, number 35, had 4 points, 2 from 3. Did not shoot any 3-pointers, with 1 rebound, 1 assist, 5 personal fouls. Actually, to attack Eden, right? The Purdue bowl, so you use the extra body to give your fouls. 1 offensive rebound. So here we go. Edie, the star, he played 38 minutes, almost the whole game. 37 points, 15 for 25, no 3-pointers, 10 rebounds, 3 personal fouls, 7 for 10 from the free throw line, 4 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, no steals, 2 blocks. The guard, Jones, 23 points, 5 points, 2 for 3 from field goal line, 0 for 1. He had 3 rebounds, 3 personal fouls, 1 from 1 for the free throw line, 0 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds, no steals, no blocks. Kaufman Ring, the forward, played 15 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 4 from the field goal line, 0 3-pointers, 2 rebounds, 2 personal fouls, no 0 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds, 0 steals, 1 block. Let's go to Lawyer. Played 30 minutes, no points, 0 for 5, 0 for 1 from the 3-point line, 2 rebounds, 2 personal fouls, 0. Did not get to the charity stripe. 1 offensive rebound, 1 defensive rebound, 1 steal, no blocks. Smith, guard, number 3, played 38 minutes, 12 points, 4 for 12 from the field goal, 1 for 2 from 3-point line, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. Great job. 2 personal fouls, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, from the charity stripe, 0 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds, 2 steals. Okay, let's see any minutes off the bench here help. Had Calvin, number 5, played 11 minutes, went 0 for 2, 0 from 2 from the 3-point line, 2 rebounds, and 2 defensive rebounds. Everything else was donut. First, played 1 minute and 1 personal foul. Gillis, number 0, played 24 minutes, went 0 for 2, 0 from the field goal, 0 for 1 from 3-point. He had 4 rebounds, 1 personal foul, 2 defensive rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. Hyde, number 23, played 15 minutes, had 2 points, 1 from 1 for the field goal, 1 rebound, 1 personal foul, 1 offensive rebound. So, UConn kept Purdue off the second chance boards because they had more defensive rebounds. They by 21-19 by 2. So obviously, and offensive rebounds is only 9 offensive rebounds for Purdue. So limited in second chances. UConn had a little bit more production off the bench for point wise, so that plays a part, and that gets you to the finish line. And you have a phenomenal freshman that plays good defense and did okay offensively. I think when you get to this part of the season, it's not about the legs. It's about the will, about executing, who can have the least amount of turnovers, who gets to the free throw line the most and has the higher free throw percentage, who controls the boards, right? Who has more rebounds, defensive, offensive side, who controls the boards. That's just a matter of the fact, who controls the boards. So, again, congratulations to Purdue. They were both number 1 seeds. UConn was the overall number one seed. Purdue was the number one seed coming out of their region. So they were number one seeds that made to the final. And so congrats. UConn went back to back. If they keep their team intact, looks like they have an opportunity to compete for a third championship. But you got to get through the preseason. You got to stay healthy, and you got to survive portal combat, the transfer portal. So moving on, let's talk about college basketball transfers. Our first transfer, Duke Jeremy Roach played at Duke this past season, and he committed out of the portal to Baylor. This past season for Duke, he averaged 14 points, 2.5 rebounds, 3.3 assists, and 1.1 steals. Best wishes to Jeremy as he plays at his new school at Baylor, being a Baylor Bear. Amari Williams played at Drexel this past season. He commits to Kentucky. And at Drexel this past season, he averaged 12.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and 1.8 blocks. He was named the Colonial Athletic Association Defensive Player of the Year. So that is a defensive enhancement for Kentucky. Stanford transfers Kanan Carlisle. He commits out of the portal to Indiana. At Stanford this past season, Carlisle averaged 11.5 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 2.7 assists during his freshman. He was just a freshman, so there's an upside to that. So I would take him too at Indiana. Aiden Holloway played at Auburn this past season, and he goes to Alabama out of the transfer portal. At Auburn this past season, he averaged 7.3 points, 1.5 rebounds, and 2.3 assists in 35 games. Nothing flashy, but consistent. It could be a utility, could help. Let's see if he gets the minutes that he's looking for at Alabama, or maybe he feels he can help him compete, get over the hump, and get to the championship game if they get back in that situation. Coming from Auburn, transfer from Auburn, Trey Donaldson ends up in Michigan. And his time at Auburn, Donaldson spent the last two seasons with the Auburn Tigers, and he averaged 6.7 points, 2.4 rebounds, and 3.2 assists in this past season. And so that's pretty consistent. Again, it's not wow, but it's a utility, and it's a consistent contributor. So hopefully it gives him some depth to the bench, and we'll see what kind of minutes, get significant minutes. Elijah Martin from Florida Atlantic, played at Florida Atlantic University, commits to Florida Gators after being in the portal. This past season for the Florida Atlantic Owls, he averaged 13.1 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. So let's see if some of that offensive firepower carries over when he enters the SEC to Florida Gators. Indiana State, sports goggles man. Indiana State's Robbie Avila leaving Indiana State, and he's going to St. Louis. Robbie Avila, after spending 2 seasons with Indiana State, he's going to St. Louis and enter the portal. Kentucky transfer. Zanimir Ivisic follows his coach Calipari to Arkansas. He is a center. He averaged 5 in Kentucky this past season. He averaged 5.5 points and 3.3 rebounds in just 11.7 minutes as a freshman. So there's some upside to that. You have Duke's Jaden Schutt, Schutt, entering the portal. He appeared in just 14 games off the bench as a freshman 22-23 season. As a freshman in 22-23, he averaged 2.1 points per game before redshirting his sophomore season. So hopefully he'll land in a place where he wants to see more playing time and play a more significant role for his next team. So best wishes. Texas's Tyrese Hunter enters the portal. Tyrese Hunter is a guard, enters the portal. The rising senior averaged about 11. He averaged about 11.1 points and 4.1 assists per game in 33 starts. His third straight year, averaging at least 10 points or more. So there's going to be a little bit of shakeup in Texas anyway. I think they underachieved according to expectations. So we'll see what happens with him. UNC Seth Tribble is the Tar Heel. He's a Tar Heel. He enters the transfer portal. At North Carolina, he will enter the transfer portal. Tribble averaged about 5.3 points per game this season for the Tar Heels. So I call that a utility person. It's not low, it's not good. Everything's out of 1 points. They play defense, they box out the hustle point. So that's something to think about. Duke's Mark Mitchell is to enter the transfer portal. He plans to enter the transfer portal. Mitchell averaged 11.6 points and 6 rebounds last season. So if he lives up to that stats, he might be able to increase. It looks like he has an upside or maintain. He can be very instrumental to a program. Arizona's Kylan Boswell in the portal. Boswell averaged 9.6 points and 3.6 assists for the Wildcats last season. Again, that's not blazing stats, but it's stats that are respectful and consistent. That's what you got to remember. It's not always about scoring 15 to 20 a game. Are you consistent what you do? And that consistency plays. And then also, you can't teach a desire to play defense. You can't teach that. Someone has to want to do that. So hopefully some of these guys have a defensive gene in them. They want to stop somebody, stop the ball. Omar Bayo from Arizona transfers. Umar, spent the last 3 seasons with the Wildcats. And this past season, he averaged 12.9 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks in 36 games, and while shooting 65.8% from the floor. So whoever picks him up is definitely it looks like he has maybe met his ceiling there. Maybe there's some upside if he gets into a different system. Maybe his points increase, or maybe we'll see. He likes to be active on the boards too. Arkansas's Fall enters the portal. Fall here will enter the portal. Fall just appeared in 9 games this season for the Razorbacks, as that Musselman has left, obviously, and Calipari is coming in. Duke's Christian Reeves enters the transfer portal. Christian Reeves did not play for the Blue Devils as he redshirted this past 2023-24 campaign. Michigan Doug McDaniel transfers to Kansas State. He's a Wildcat now. He was a leading scorer this past season for Michigan. The sophomore averaged 16.3 points and 4.7 assists per game this season. So he goes from Big 10 to Big 12. Big 12 will expand because you'll have some old Pac-12 teams coming in. So it'll be no more Big 12. I think it kicks there. Don't hold me to that. If I remember correctly, the Big 12 bumps up to 16 teams, and that should be fun and interesting to watch. For FAU, Florida Atlantic University, Janelle Davis is in the portal and possibly plan to declare for the draft. So that's his overall plan. So we'll see what his plans are. I hope his endeavors goes well for him. Hope that goes well. South Dakota State, Zeke Mayo commits. He's going to Kansas from San Diego State. That's interesting. Zeke Mayo is transferring to Kansas. We'll see how that works. I don't have any stats on him at this time. Michi is going back to Ohio State. Michi Johnson, who did very well for South Carolina, helped him a lot. A top player for South Carolina is transferring back to Ohio State, where he previously played at from 2020 to 2022. So, is it follow the drip, the NIL, the NIL, the NIL, right? NIL now. Show me the bag. FAU Vlade Golden is entered the portal. Golden is entering the transfer portal. He's 7'1" center. He averaged 15.7 points this year, 6.9 rebounds and 1.6 blocks, almost 2 blocks per game this past season. He was a key part of FSU's Final Four run in 2023. So run the floor, athletic, 7-footer. So that'll be a great pickup. I'm sure somebody will go in the portal and get him. We'll stay posted. Notre Dame's Kerry Booth enters the portal. Notre Dame's Kerry Booth is a 4-star recruit. He averaged 6.4 points and 4.3 rebounds during his freshman season. Possible upside if he gets with program that fits him. I know people think it's all about scoring, but at the end of the day, I think what gives you longevity, what appears to give you longevity is one, if you understand what the coach wants to get done. 2, you value defense, and 3, you know how to score. You don't have to put up a lot of shots to be efficient in your scoring. I think that's becoming a highlighted thing. Can you be efficient in your minutes, whether efficient on offense and defense as well? Illinois' Danger. He's a junior. He averaged 6.1 points and 3.6 per rebounds per game. And he helped Illinois get to the League 8, although mostly he came off the bench this season and played a bigger role. And he played a bigger role in 2022-23. So if his minutes decrease, not happy with that. So looking to go somewhere because he wants to increase his minutes. And so not happy with his role. So I will be happy with those minutes. I don't know about you, but everybody has different dreams. So best wishes to him. Josh Cohen is going to Arkansas after from leaving Massachusetts and UMass, as they call it. He's a post player. He averages 59 points and 16.8 rebounds his past season for UMass. So let's see if that translates in SEC play. That's a whole different creature, whole different team, whole different lineup. Yale's Danny Wolf is in the portal. He's entered the portal. Wolf averaged 14.1 points, 9.7 rebounds for the Bulldogs this season. All right, maybe he's tired of that Ivy League life and move on to something bigger and better. Hope his skill set, he finds a fit. I can see him go to a Patriot League, or maybe he goes to the Northeastern Conference, NEC, or a MAC, Mid-Atlantic Athletic Conference. We'll see. Florida's Riley Kugel enters the transfer portal. KUG, Florida. He has narrowed his decision down to 4 schools as of now: UConn, Arizona, Kansas, and Houston. So it'll be either a Husky, a Wildcat, a Jayhawk, or a Cougar. Okay, Wisconsin's AJ Stewart in the portal. Portal combine is getting real. The Badgers lost to James Madison. And that's about it. I guess wasn't happy with that in the portal. Hopefully he finds a better fit onto bigger, better things. Washington State's Miles Rice is in the portal. He entered the portal after Cougar's second round NCAA tournament loss to Iowa State. So he jumped in there early. Wake Forest, Kevin Miller enters the portal. So FSU, Primo Spears, Florida State University, enters the portal. Spears averaged 10.6 points per game for the Seminoles this past season. I think that's a good average for NCAA Division I athlete, but we'll see what his plans are. Rutgers Clifford Omari Yai. I'm doing the best to pronounce these names. Help me out here, people. He averaged 10.4 points, 8.3 rebounds, and 10.9 blocks per game. Got a little bit post for the Scarlet Knights. Reported St. John's will be involved after he enters the portal, so we'll see if that's where he ends up. Michigan's Terrence Reed in the portal. Portal combat is getting real. Uh, this week, his coach, Juwan Howard, was dismissed for a dismal season of 8-24 record. Sophomore averaged uh, 9.9 points and had a high of 7.2 rebounds per game in 32 appearances this season. So that is some promise as a sophomore. Someone gets to the program that's willing to work with him and develop him with the skills that he has or can contribute to their system. It's all about getting to a system that complements that player's skill. That's what it comes down to when you go play for a coach, whether their system accommodates your style of play. Louisville uh, loses Karan Davis, Caleb Glenn, and Curtis Williams. All three of them in the portal. Davis' decision doesn't come as a surprise. He was dismissed from the team in December. Glenn, a freshman, appeared in 32 games this season. He averaged 3.9 points and 3.6 rebounds in 15 minutes per game. Williams, also a freshman, appeared in 32 games as well, averaging 5.3 points per contest. Changes were expected for Louisville's roster after the firing of head coach Kenny Payne, and it wouldn't be a shock if more Cardinals hit the portal combat. Oklahoma State, Javon Small, and Brandon Garrison, they are in the portal. Garrison averaged 7.5 points and 5.3 rebounds this season. Both moves come in the wake of both of these players leave because the firing of their head coach Mike Boynton so that was no shock. Miami's Michael Nwoko he's in the portal. He averaged about 24.7 points and 2 rebounds, so that's a walking bucket. That's in the ACC. So he goes somewhere that complements and wants him to score. Somebody's going to pick a. Sounds like they got a good one. Andre Stokovich and Kanan Stokovich is in the portal. And mainly because their head coach, Jared Haas, was fired after the season. So that is where some of them. And so they had, I think that's a good thing. Michael Brown Jones is leaving University of North Carolina, Greensboro. He averaged 18.9 points per game in past season. He spent 2 seasons with UNC Greensboro after 2 years with VCU. So I think he has a COVID year. So hopefully it works well for him. Toby Okani to enter portal, declare for portal. University of Illinois Chicago's Toby Okani will enter the transfer portal and declare for MBA draft. He averaged 11.1 points and 6.8 rebounds this season as a senior. Best wishes to him. Frankie Fidler is leaving Omaha. Omaha Junior Frankie Fidler is entering the portal. He averaged 20.1 points and 6.3 rebounds while shooting just under 35.6% from the three on the season. Devin Askew entering the portal. It's California senior guard. He is in the portal. He's leaving California. He put up a career best of 15.5 points, giving you the best that I got per game for the Golden Bears in the 22-23 season. He only appeared in 6 games this past season due to injury this past season. So hopefully he's going somewhere to rehab, get his juju, get that swag back, get in his bag, to get back in his bag, and best wishes to him and his healing. And again, we already know, last but not least, Riley Cooper will keep a watch on him. After Florida lost to Colorado, Riley got in the portal. It's UConn, Arizona, Kansas, and Houston. So that is the portal combat on the men's side. We had the stat facts. What's the separation? The stat facts with UConn and Purdue national championship. Preparation today is obviously in the stats. The little things mean a lot. And when you make a plan, be precise. And when you got to move on, do your research, be comfortable, and then you got to be willing to step out into the unknown once you cannot, There's no sense of going back. Sometimes some of these players get to go back to their old schools if the situation fits and the coach there fits. But a lot of times there's no going back. So prepare the best that you can. Be ready for anything. And until next time, be great in your preparation. Become excellent in your performance. Champion mentality.